the goalies they had last season, with Sean Miller, who saw some time along with Long. Coming off a strong first seat with the Crusaders last year, now a junior, transferring from High Point ahead of the 2025 campaign. Look, big time stop cleaned up by the Crusaders. It was a great initial save, but the ball landed just outside, and holding on top of it, had a bit of an up. I believe it's Lynch who will get the goal. 20 season for June, and he does have his foot of 2020. It was him and Nino with 20 apiece lead the way for the Cruisers. Intuitiveness from Lynch to get him. That'll be an unassisted goal. Fryer for 3 on the face-offs. Zero settling back, finds Sam Brazil. Back up. Brazil. Packers work the ball down low. They've got plenty is there, and there's one of them. Jack 2. Everyone corked that shot. Zach Wilkerson. So Wilkerson skipping the legs of Long, and the Friars go back on top relatively quick. So Wilkerson with his first season, sophomore attack out of it's 2 goals for PC. Brown ball, black for Holy Cross, but back to the Friars, tenacity, the forecheck, and they'll whip into the hands of Joseph. Playing into this, and we've got some confusion. An issue with the shot clock. Kind of tough to communicate with our environment. It's loud because both of these sides are rating that same level of excitement this season. It's going to be for the Friars. Topped with 11:22 left, 2-1 if you're just joining us with the early advantage. Neither team able to go yet. I could cheat this high-octane offense at PC. Chambers. Here. Friars. Jaskowitz. All the way back around. Why not? Get it to Joseph, who's the distributor that time. Is denied. Got on top of it. That ball less than a foot from Krubit. Long makes his first save this season. So now the Crusaders should get it across. And he was run off. So the violation awards session back. They just had all covered. The Crusaders breakout. Again, we're coming at you from St. Ignatius Indoor Building in Worcester. Another save. He stopped the last last 2 shots he's faced. And this time the Crusaders get it across, but another ball ends up around. Holy Cross first.
Credit that pickup to Luke Jager. Now a quarter of the way through the shot clock, Providence in no rush to get their offense set up. Brazel chopped at. Heavy pressure, but Brazel holds on to it. Shielding it to his right. Now tries towards the point. Wilkerson with one already. Nice pass behind the net. Good setup. Some contact, and that's going to be a foul going against the Crusaders as Chambers got to his spot. Got run up. Looks like they get Gavin Arabka. So man-up situation. And that will be timed on the field as the shot ends up going low and just outside goal. However, Providence first one there. The referees will blow this one dead. And we're going to get a timeout on the field. So, just about 6 minutes into the new season, Providence holding on to a 2-1 lead in the early going. Step aside for just a moment. You're tuned in to Holy Cross Men's Lacrosse, live on YouTube. .05 left in the first quarter of the new season for Holy Cross Lacrosse. 2-1, the Crusaders trailing the Friars. And Holy Cross with plenty of new fresh faces added to the mix this year. 13 new players on the roster. A lot of new additions to the midfield specifically. You've got David Campbell, Caleb DeRocha, Carter McAndrew, Matthew Plum, Crosby Thurmond, the 5 joining the midfield. And Shane McDonnell, the lone face-off man, added to the mix. Again, so far, Coach Reppert has sent out Tim Golden, who is 2 for 4 on the face-offs, but talked to him earlier this week, and he talked about McDonnell's eagerness to learn at this Division I level. Hoping to get some of his early action as a freshman, and he's a guy who played hockey while in high school, and so maybe some of that physicality at the face-off dot on the ice coming over and helping him out when it comes to winning draws on the lacrosse pitch. Providence has dominated possession so far, and they go right back on the attack out of the timeout. This one lobbed to the middle, but the shot just goes wide for Wilkerson, who is seeking his second, and the Crusaders win a narrow race to the out-of-bounds line to get possession back. Ground ball tracked down by the Crusaders defense. That's Julian Jenkins. And And the Crusaders try the near side, and it's carried on across. Sam McDonald gives way. There's a bad angled shot. And Tooney couldn't get it through. Stays with the Crusaders. Damian Raimondo. Pass a little bit too long, but again, Holy Cross first one's there. Raimondo finds Botek. Bench calls out 30 seconds. Now down to 25 to shoot for the Crusaders. McDonald takes it behind goal. Providence putting a wall up, not allowing the Crusaders to get to the net. For a moment, it looked like Andrew Ottamanelli might have had something going, but they have to go back to the outside. Botek to the middle. Great setup, and it's fired home. Owen Tooney, his first goal of the season. It's 2-2. So Tunney finds the equalizer. Every time the Crusaders have conceded the goal, they've gotten it right back. So Tunney, the sophomore, starts his second season with a bang. Appeared in all 15 games last year. Of course, made his college debut against these Friars on February 1st, 2025, as Crusaders claim another face-off win. And now Tunney will wait for his personnel to make the change. Now he looks forward, fires it behind the goal. Some contact, and Holy Cross does get there first. John-Luke Dooley won the race. Will Messinio, and one of those top goal scorers we talked about from last year. He gets it in a shooting lane and fires it home. Messinio falling down, somehow got the slot and the angle to beat Sterrett. Back-to-back goals for the Crusaders, and they have a 3-2 lead. 6:45 remaining in the first quarter. Holy Cross getting into an offensive rhythm. And it has all started with the face-offs in Golden. And a violation goes against Providence. So Holy Cross will get possession. Chris Esposito taking the draws for Providence, went a little bit early. So now McDonald sprinting behind the net, a tough one hop, reeled in nicely though. I don't know how Raimondo stayed with it, but now he spins towards net, goes back up top with it. Botek. Ground ball recovered. A spin and a fire. There's a big time stop from Sterrett. Fresh 60 seconds for the Crusaders. McDonald. Jab step. A little bit offline, but reeled in by Botek, who picked up an assist on one of those last two goals. Raimondo gets to his right, and a howitzer. I think it went off the crossbar, ends up going to the sideline, and the Friars, do they get there first? Yes. So Holy Cross narrowly turns it into a 2-goal lead. Instead, Providence gets a much-needed possession after losing the last couple of draws. BC's got to hurry to get it across, and they do. Garcia goes to his right. And now Joseph. Lazaro will just bring it all the way up top. Those three dangerous attackers up there for the Friars. That's the midfield coming through, and Anderson trying to make something happen. Now gets it up top. Richie Joseph finds Lazaro. Joseph cutting across. He fires and scores. Second already for Joseph as he continues to inch closer to that century mark. 92 career goals for the Longmeadow native. It is 3-3 with 4:48 left in what's been a back and forth first quarter of the 2026 season here in Worcester. Joseph was named the preseason Big East Player of the Year. It's the second straight year the Friars have had the Offensive Player of the Year in the preseason. Ryan Bell last season was recognized. And they're the only two in Friars program history to be named Big East Offensive Player of the Year in the preseason. Of course, since 2010, when the Big East began sponsoring men's lacrosse. Well deserved for Joseph, who's been as dangerous as they come, not just in the conference, but nationally. Has two of his team's 3 goals so far, all even, not for long. The answer comes from Holy Cross. John Luke Dooley gets on the board in 2026. Four different goal scorers for Holy Cross, and that was the story last year. A lot of offense by committee. And so far, it's been a balanced attack for Coach Reppert. 4-3 Satyrs. This is the 37th all-time meeting between these two teams. Providence has a slim advantage. They've won 19 of the 36. Huge battle, and Providence comes up with it, but it's thrown away. That allows Long to get there without incident, and he wants to go quickly while the Friars retreat. Crusaders, though, airmail the pass, and it'll be Providence possession. Look at the team numbers so far. Both teams pretty equal as far as shot attempts. 9-8 in favor of the Crusaders, but Holy Cross has put 8 of theirs on goal. Providence just 5. So a little bit more accuracy on the purple and white side. Friars trying to pull back even, and they'll smartly get it in the hands of their preseason Player of the Year. Now gets it on the left wing, and Joseph will yield behind the net. Brett Chambers trying to get involved to start the season. That pass almost went over the end line, or the midfield line, I should say. Friars have half a minute to shoot. They get a chance, and it's perfectly set up. Back post, left all alone to cash in for his first goal of the season. It's Sam Brazel. Just so many different weapons the Crusaders have had to take into account. And so the Friars get another one off a turnover. But Brazel, with his first goal of the new season, the sophomore from DeWitt, New York. And now the Friars do get a draw win from Esposito. Lost possession momentarily, but the ground ball reeled in nicely by Lazaro, who's got himself a couple of assists already. Friars looking for the lead back. Joseph. But the centering pass, and right there to pick it off was J.R. Long. Holy Cross coming off a 4-11 season last year. Dropped the opening game against the Friars on February 1st, 2025. Winded back to the right point. Ramondo moves to his left. Played around the outside. McDonald goes to the right now. No shooting lane yet opening up for the Crusaders on this possession with 30 to shoot. Tunney has got one already. Now leaves it off, and what a snipe! Andrew Ottaminelli gets on the score sheet. He has his first of the season. And the Crusaders get yet another answer to maintain their half step in front of the Friars. It's 5-4 with just over 90 seconds left in the first quarter. But offensively, you couldn't have asked for a much better start if you're on that Crusaders sideline. 5 different goal scorers. And so Ottaminelli picks up his first, coming off of a great freshman campaign where he had 10 goals. He actually had 2 goals against Providence last year. So he's a big fan of this matchup. Providence aware that they want to maybe use up as much time as possible on this possession. There's a 12-second difference between the shot and game clock. But they'll start to pick up the pace, trying to find the equalizer, and then maybe trusting their defense. Lob to the point. The shot saved by Long. Ground ball in front. And it's a good goal. Slight pause, but Providence got to the ground ball, picked it up, and Long couldn't make the secondary stop. It's 5-5 with 47 seconds to go. That initial save was terrific, and then it was Matt Lazaro who got there, scooped it up, and I believe he fired it in. Was able to get it out of the crease, and it will be the first goal of the season for Lazaro. 5 aside, and Providence chance to go 2 for 1 after winning yet another face-off. They'd love to steal the advantage going into the second quarter. A look at the clock by Lazaro. Under half a minute now. Anderson biding his time. Now he'll get a running start. Nice move, frees up some space. Anderson goes out wide with the wrister. Goes just wide of Long's goal. Providence wins the race. Clock stops for a moment, 12 seconds for the Friars to make something happen. It's whipped in. Who else but Joseph gets the inbound? Anderson. 5 seconds, stumbles. Anderson has to get a shot off. He goes to the other side. Big stop by Long to keep it 5-5 after one quarter. Some huge saves from J.R. Long in the opening 15 minutes. A great possession to close it out by the Friars. But they come up empty, and we head to the second quarter. Tied at 5, some indoor lacrosse to kick off the 2026 season here in Worcester. Holy Cross and Providence all square through 1. moments away from the start of the second quarter. Here in Worcester, indoors instead of at Kuzniewski to open up the season. Colin Casey bringing you live coverage here on YouTube. And what's a busy day of athletics here at the College of the Holy Cross. Women's basketball picking up a huge victory over Army just a few moments before this one got underway. And then, of course, later on tonight, you got Pink the Rink just next door in an hour's time between Holy Cross and Northeastern for women's hockey. Speaking of Army, the Crusaders men's team got a shutout victory over the Black Knights on the rink last night. Danik LaRue got a shutout. Matt DeBoer, a couple of goals in the victory for Bill Riga's bunch. But the focus currently just down the hall, literally, here at St. Ignatius in the regular season opener for Crusaders men's lacrosse. Providence gets the first tally of the second quarter, and once again, it's Jay Wilkerson. He's got his second goal. So it is a 6-5 lead. By the way, some clarification. Initially, I had said that opening goal was Rhett Chambers, and then it was scored as Richie Joseph's. I had it right the first time. It was, in fact, Chambers' goal. So that's 5 different goal scorers to start the game for the Friars, and Wilkerson the first with 2. So as far as the milestone counter for Richie Joseph, he's at 91. Esposito, big hit levied. Jack Dowling came up with the contact. However, the Friars do not quit with the play. That one's Chambers. He's got his second. 2 goals in the opening minute of the second quarter gives the Friars their first 2-goal advantage of the afternoon. So despite the hit that was put on, it was Ian Olenek who stayed with the play, got the ground ball pickup, and kept the ball moving forward. And the Friars imposing their will now on the face-offs. Crusaders do force a ground ball. So Chambers' his second goal, and Olenek gets the assist, the senior, Windham, New Hampshire. Crusaders get their first offensive possession, and they ring the iron. Grade A scoring look from Owen Tunney, but he could not find net, and we've got a vicious hit away from the play. And some jawing back and forth as the officials come together trying to determine where this ball will be put back in play. It'll be Crusaders' possession. And Dooley has a chance to get a little bit further up before it's put back in play with 60 seconds on the shot clock. Dooley. Can't miss him out there, standing at 6'3". Now it's Aiden Cassidy who picked up an assist in the first quarter. They're at 88 in white. Dooley lowering his shoulder, but met with physicality by the Friars defense. Cassidy, under 20 to shoot for the Crusaders. Tunney. Now Dooley sneaks one through. Sterrett got a piece. He could not get all of it. And the Crusaders back within a goal. The second for Dooley. 12:40 left in the first half. So Dooley, the first one for the Crusaders to have multiple this year. It is a 7-6 advantage for Providence. But this has been a frantic scoring pace to open the season. Long battle, and Holy Cross comes up with a hard-fought possession. They'll whip it on back to Long, who's been very solid so far. Last couple have beaten him, but he made a few huge saves at the end of the first quarter. Crusaders recover, but it was an over and back. Took a moment for the officials to pick up on that. They got a nice reminder from the Friars sideline, who now have possession and look to restore their 2-goal advantage. It's in the mesh of Joseph. I'm sure he didn't have to change much gear coming over from Longmeadow High School to Providence College. They got the same exact color scheme. The Lancers out in Hampden County. Friars attacking the net. Lazzaro's pass goes all the way back across. So, pass was too hot, and now a lot of confusion, but it will be Holy Cross possession right at midfield. Again, it is tough to kind of decipher this unorthodox setup here in Worcester. Again, if you're just joining us, this game was moved indoors as a result of the massive amount of snow coupled with the freezing temperatures just not making Wisniewski Field habitable here in the final day of January, understandably so. Talking with J.L. Reppert before this one, and he made sure to give a shout out to Athletic Director Kid Hughes and everyone in operations who made this possible. Instead of canceling the event, they said the show must go on, and they made it happen. And so far, it's been a very entertaining first half of lacrosse to start the new year. 30 seconds to shoot for Holy Cross, looking to pull back even. Sterrett with the save, and he reels in the rebound. Botek got a decent look. And now Sterrett gets it across. Nicely done by the Friars to get it up to Lazzaro, the playmaker of this offense. Had the goal late in the first quarter to go along with 2 assists. Bit of a rolling screen, and Lazzaro looking across, and he fires it home. That was Chambers, rather, off the feed from Lazzaro, and it's back to a 2-goal advantage, 8-6. So a quick hat trick in 2026 for Rhett Chambers. Needed just 4 shots on goal. Chambers, the New York native, in his junior year. So still another year of eligibility, and it's going to be very difficult for teams in the Big East to slow down the dynamic duo of him and Joseph. A violent battle for this ground ball. Looked for a moment like Esposito had possession. And the Crusaders can't pounce on it. It's finally dug clear by Joseph. And he flips it on over to Lazzaro. Now Chambers will take it behind goal. Friars looking for the first 3-goal lead of the contest with 9:16 remaining in the first half. Anderson falling down, gets the pass off. And Holy Cross intercepts. Sprinting all the way down. Pressured from behind and clobbered. Running up pitch. Jake Doran paid a price. Providence able to kill the rush. But Holy Cross gets the clear. Now they go to work trying to get it back to 1. Big time defensive stand. Under 60 seconds to shoot. It's kept on the outside. Dooley's got 2 already. He finds Messinio, who's got a goal. Lynch does 2, and he fires. Missed about a foot high. First one there for Holy Cross is Dooley. 8 minutes left in the half. Lynch now with 35 seconds to work with. Dooley pivots back. Pass in front's a good one, and it's finished off by Messinio. Aiden Cassidy picks up his second assist, and the senior his second goal. Back to a 1-goal game. Messinio, Ridgewood, New Jersey native. Appeared in all 15 games last year, and he's been a crucial part of this Holy Cross squad since his freshman season, where he played in 11 games, made his mark early. His first career goal came in a hostile environment on the road in an ACC matchup against Syracuse. And he's never looked back since. Again, the 20 goals last year to go along with 1 assist. A couple of hat tricks, one against Bucknell, another against Loyola. He's a goal away from another one to open up 2026. 8-7, Friars lead the Crusaders with possession. Lazaro, Joseph, Wilkerson, who's got a pair already, wanted to uncork a shot, couldn't. It's back down low. Lazaro finds Joseph. Half a minute to go. Ball on the ground, comes into no man's land, but tracked down by Wilkerson. He's going to have to hurry, though. Down to 20 seconds to shoot for the Friars. Lazaro. Ball back on the ground. Brazel bumped, and the pressure from the Crusaders gets this one to midfield. Another big-time stand by Holy Cross, and they're in position to pull back even. 6 and change left in the second. Botek has an assist so far. Ryan Botek going to the right with it. Cassidy forced to the sidelines. And Cassidy will go right back to the point. Damian Raimondo, a one-hopper. Excellent save from Sterrett. And Sterrett has to lob it dangerously back towards his goal. Fortunately for him, Dean Metzger was Johnny on the spot. Successful clear for the Friars. Brady Garcia lobs it behind goal. Chris Madia. Pressure from behind, great stick check, but the Friars stay with it. Post moved for Long as he came across to make the save. Lazaro's the first one there. Crusaders almost found themselves a third straight stop. 25 seconds to another one. Dangerous pass towards the sidelines. Garcia reels it in. And now it's Rhett Chambers trying to get a running start. He's got 3 goals already. Misses just wide and takes a big-time hit. He's a bit slow to get up as he was bodied by the debuting Matthew Plunkett. Just 10 seconds to shoot for the Friars. Joseph trying to muscle his way to the net. He's got 5 seconds. Face guarded well. Joseph trying to get something off. He passes it to the middle. It's on the ground. It's a shot clock violation. Another huge defensive stand for Holy Cross, who get it across midfield. I believe that was Cooper Fallon back there who did not allow Joseph to get that late shot off. Can Holy Cross find a tying goal here? Still down 8-7. 4 minutes left in the first half. Jude Lynch. Worked over. Ottaminelli getting it to that strong left side. Dooley pushed back outside. 30 to shoot. Messinio had it popped up in the air, accidentally put it back on the ground, but able to recover. Dooley whacked out a couple of times. Lynch. Some stout defense from the Friars. A dozen seconds to shoot. That one trickles and it's kept out narrowly by Sterrett. He's under duress, but he gets it off. Been a really good second quarter from Cam Sterrett. It's now up to 8 saves as the Crusaders come up with a ground ball and put the pressure right back on. Rincon was shot out of a cannon. Lynch. He'll pull back. Ottaminelli. To Botek. Ramondo. Trying to take advantage of some tired Friars. McDonald gives it off. Botek goes behind the goal. Cassidy, who's set up a pair so far. A wicked shot, and Ramondo ties it at 8. One of the hardest shots we've seen so far this afternoon. Damian Ramondo finds his first goal of the season. So the senior, who appeared in 11 games last year, has tied things up with 2:08 left in the first half. Started his career at High Point, playing in the Atlantic 10. Spent 3 seasons down in North Carolina. He's probably missing that warmer weather at the moment, although I will say it's below freezing down in North Carolina as well. So I think he's just happy to be indoors today, as I'm sure a lot of these players are. But at the same time, it's tough to not be playing in front of fans to open up the new season. You have to create your own energy, and these guys have done a great job of doing so on both sides. Minute and 43 seconds left in the half. Providence with possession. Joseph gets the return pass. Brazel. Stutter steps. Stopped by Long. And Holy Cross can hold for the last shot. Got to get it across first. Friars putting some good pressure on, and now a little bit of confusion. It's finally worked to the near sideline, and Botek gets there in time. Now Holy Cross can focus on making sure that this is the final possession of the half. At least guarantee being knotted going into halftime. If they play it right. Botek now with under 40 seconds left. Shot clock is effectively off. There's 40 seconds on it, but close to 30 seconds left. Botek. Another look at the clock. Tightly looked at by Frankie Carroll. Now he works on Carroll. 10 seconds left. Ground ball. Friars come up with it. They've got time if they hurry. 5 seconds left. Sprinting all the way down. Westrick gets the pass off. The shot goes just wide, and time expires before the Friars can win the race to the end line. Nearly an effective counterattack from Providence after getting a crucial stop to close out the first half. But after all that, it is deadlocked. 8-8 the score between Holy Cross and Providence College as we head to intermission. Second half when we come back. This is Division I Men's Lacrosse live on YouTube. Second half in a moment. up for the second half of action from the College of the Holy Cross. Crusaders and Providence Friars kicking off the new season. Once again, this is a fifth straight year they have met to open up the college season. Makes a lot of sense, of course. A pretty short drive, whether it's to here or, of course, down to Providence, Rhode Island. But regardless, it's been a fun meeting to start this season. 8-8 the score. And we've seen some really great goalkeeping despite 8 goals in the first half on both sides. You've got J.R. Long, who's made 5 saves, a lot of them from point-blank range. And then Cam Sterrett, who was terrific, specifically in the second quarter, made a couple of key stops, did the sophomore to keep things where they are. Rhett Chambers, the story so far for the Friars. He's got a hat trick, a couple of goals as well for Jay Wilkerson. Just the one goal for Richie Joseph, but he's attempted 4 shots, so expect him to be a heavy part of this Friars offense in the second half. Meanwhile, pair of goals for both Will Messinio and John Luke Dooley on the Crusaders side. They've accounted for half of the scoring. And how about Aiden Cassidy? He's made a name for himself in this one with a pair of assists. Cassidy, in his college debut out of Chevy Chase, Maryland, played 3 seasons of varsity at Landon High School. That was what he was doing in the spring. He was a football player in the fall, and he actually comes from a football background. His father played college ball at UC Davidson and has the career sack and single-season sack record. His brother playing over at UPenn. So it's not just a football family, to say the least. It's also a Lax family. All right, both teams fired up. And again, this game being closed to the public, got to create your own energy on the sidelines. And both sides doing just that to start the third quarter. Hopefully both these teams can get back outside come next week. The Crusaders will have their first road matchup of the season down on Long Island when they travel to Hempstead to take on the Hofstra Pride. And then it'll be another one on the road, a midweek matchup Wednesday, February 11th. This time going north to North Andover, take on Merrimack. And then Valentine's Day is when the Crusaders should return to Wisniewski Field. Hopefully some snow melting, although the cold temperatures will make it a little difficult when they play the Sacred Heart Pioneers. That game will be on ESPN+. Crusaders awarded possession to start this second half in what's been a war on the face-off so far, primarily the battle between Tim Golden for the Crusaders and Chris Esposito for the Friars. So the first possession of the half belongs to Holy Cross as Jude Lynch fell down but got the ball away. It goes to the sidelines. Unable to corral it was Messinio, and we got a flag coming out. Friars will be a man up. Couldn't quite see who they got. Messinio again was the first one there, but I don't know if it was him. From our vantage point in the broadcast booth, the box is directly below us, but it's a 30-second man-up situation. And I believe it is Ottamanelli who will have to watch from the sidelines. Providence looks to pounce. Joseph sends it over to Stone Evans. Getting some action here to start the third quarter. Evans. Now Joseph up top. Played well along the perimeter. Worked from out behind goal by Brazel. Evans. back to even strength. Holy Cross defending it well. Evans comes off. Joining the mix, Parker Kennedy. He's got it. 30 seconds to shoot. Kennedy double teamed. Keeps his feet moving. Pass nearly stolen away. Good lob to the middle, and 3 players come together. Holy Cross survives. Couldn't tell who that was coming through the middle. I believe it was Chris Madia, and he was sandwiched. Now the Crusaders looking for the lead, but the ground ball stolen away. And the Friars have a 2-on-1 situation. Numbers, Joseph, back across. It's fired home by Lazaro. The pass came from Rhett Chambers, in fact, but Lazaro, with his 4th point of the game, his 2nd goal. How's that for a counter? The Friars take a 9-8 lead with 13:03 to go in the 3rd quarter. It happens so quickly. The risk you run when it's put on the ground. Dean Metzger won't end up in the scoring column there, but it all started with his play to jump that route per se, pick it up cleanly, and get the ball to midfield to create that 2-on-1. Golden lost his footing, and the Friars, as a result, win possession off the draw. Luke Jager makes his way off. Lazaro. Kennedy with the give and go, gets it behind goal. Kennedy looks for the wraparound bid. His stick goes flying. That was actually a Crusader stick. That ball's underneath, trapped. And Long settles things down. Parker Kennedy drive into the net, but just a massive humanity there. An errant pass again comes back to haunt the Crusaders. 2 of those turnovers in the opening 3 minutes of this 3rd quarter. Garcia, and now a misstep. The Tunster claims another victim. It's Cooper Anderson who lost his balance. Well, even in a controlled atmosphere, sometimes that turf can be tricky. So the Crusaders catch a break. And now it's Dooley. 2 goals in the first half. Finds Messinio, who also had a pair. Lynch. Messinio takes a couple of checks, goes to the end line to find Ottamanelli. Pulled that shot. Crusaders will still have 33 seconds to shoot. Dooley has some time and space. When Tunney finds a cutter across. Cassidy with another great setup, but this time, right there to make the stop was Sterrett. Sterrett continues to keep that save percentage above 500. 9 saves, 8 goals allowed. 529. A little over 10 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Neither team's been able to create separation. Biggest lead's been 2, and that has been equaled thanks to a hat-trick goal from Jay Wilkerson. He picked up a screen at the top of the arc and fires one low to beat Long and get the Friars into double digits. So Wilkerson played in all 15 games last year as a freshman. Safe to say, we're not seeing a sophomore slump, at least today. Had a dozen goals in his freshman campaign down in Rhode Island. Joseph loses his balance, playing with a little bit of fire, but does smartly get the pass back across. And Jaeger settled things down. Lazaro going for a jog. .40 to shoot. Garcia gives it off down low, one-on-one isolation play. Chambers throws it away. It's kept on the right half, though, by the Friars. They got to hustle now with 22 seconds to shoot. Lazaro, Rhett Chambers, hat trick and an assist. 15 to shoot. A great play, but the shot rings off the iron as Cooper Anderson created the separation. And the shot clock will reset for the Friars. They do keep it in on the right half, too. So it'll be 60 seconds. And Providence has a chance to get that lead up to 3. Looking at some of the numbers so far, they've out-attempted Holy Cross 25-20. Both teams with 17 shots on goal. Friars with the only extra man opportunity that came just a few moments into the third quarter. And the Friars with a slight edge in face-offs, 12-9. Turnovers and caused turnovers almost identical. 12 turnovers for Holy Cross, 11 for Providence. Both teams have forced 4 turnovers. It's been pretty even, but at the end of the day, the Friars have that 2-goal advantage, and now possessions start to matter a little bit more as this game gets later and later. And Providence not happy about the whistle blowing to kill their possession. So some frustration being shown by Bobby Benson. And now the refs are going to come together. And Providence still wants an explanation as to why that whistle blew. Now a flag has gone down. They do get a penalty, interference on Cooper Fallon. But Providence wanted to play the advantage and couldn't. So the second man-up opportunity belongs to Providence as well. Fallon gets the interference call. Half a minute for the Friars to maybe improve in that area. They didn't get a shot on goal during the half minute they had the first time. And man-up specialist Stone Evans checks back in for the Friars. Ball finds him. Brazel. Evans winds and uncorks a bomb. Misses wide, but Providence there to put it right back in play. Halfway through the man-up. Bit more deliberate with the passes this time are the Friars. Brazel gives it off. Bad angle shot, saved by Long. And Holy Cross will survive once again. 2 for 2, killing off the penalties. Long earns his 7th save on that stop on Matt Lazaro to deny him a hat trick. 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Friars, off the failed clearing attempt by Holy Cross, back with possession. Chambers finds the playmaker Lazaro. It's attempted 6 shots today to go along with the 2 goals and 2 assists. 3 ground balls as well. That's a team high. Chambers up top. Cycle back down to Lazaro. That's Joseph, rather, who spins away from the contact and finds Kennedy. Kennedy, great swivel and an excellent pass. Finds Joseph, who's got his second. And it is 11-8. Richie Joseph gets the goal, but Parker Kennedy made it happen. And it's a 3-goal lead for the Friars. Uncharted territory. Holy Cross desperately looking for an answer as we're now over halfway through the third quarter. And a clean draw win for the Friars, and they almost get another one immediately as Chambers got a decent look. Providence narrowly wins the race. Chambers, again, he and Joseph named to the preseason All Big East team. And both of them already justifying that selection with multi-goal performances this afternoon. Holy Cross comes up with the ground ball. Good positioning that time from Jaden Franklin. But the Friars do not allow a clear. It's back on the ground. How about the effort from Lazaro? He gets another grounder. And now it's Joseph who finds the ball again up top. By the way, last time these two teams met, as a turnover goes against Providence, the start of last season, it was a 15-8 victory for the Friars. Richie Joseph had a career-high 8 goals in that game. Don't think he'll get to that mark today, but he has made a difference with his 2 goals in what's been a much more scoring by committee approach than last year. Crusaders need an answer. Have not scored in this third quarter. It was 8-8 at half. Last 3 going the way of the visitors. Not a whole lot of possessions for this Crusaders offense. McDonald angles away. Ramondo goes to his right with it. Botek. Ball quickly on the ground, but McDonald picks it up, and McDonald's got himself a lane, but his shot goes just wide. Not sure if Sterritt got a piece or not. He did not. Shot clock doesn't reset. 15 seconds to work with for the Crusaders. Back up top, Botek. Good pass to the middle, and an awkward flip shot goes well wide. 5 seconds left. Doesn't matter. It is Providence possession. Ball came all the way to the sideline. Another big-time defensive stand. And so after an offensively busy first half for the Crusaders, Providence has made some big adjustments and held the Crusaders' offense in check so far, over 10 minutes into the second half. But it's all started at the face-off dot at the circle. Esposito has now won 10 of 15 draws. Wilkerson, 3 goals already, sets a screen as Chambers was trying to run off of it. 25 seconds to shoot. Jay Wilkerson looking for his 4th. Fires it about a foot wide. And a desperate lunge from Joseph. Keeps it with the Friars. Just 16 seconds, however, to work with. And this will start all the way in the back corner. Lazaro hands it on off. Kennedy finds a man up top. Chambers, 3 seconds to go. Friars got to get a shot off. They will not. Tried to look for that great look in tight, and instead they turn it over on the violation. Holy Cross cleanly out. Nicely done from Jake Doran, and he yields to Messinio. Gets the offense set up as the ball finds Dooley. Holy Cross can at least get one. Stay within striking distance. I think you'll take being within a pair going into the 4th quarter with how the well is dried up on offense. Messinio still in search of the hat trick. Had 2 of them last year. Dooley tries to one-hop it. No dice. Cam Starrett has been spectacular really since the start of the 2nd quarter. He comes up with another save. He's taken away the bottom of the net specifically. Those bounce shots have not gotten through. Anderson. Puts it on to Brady Garcia. Garcia looking for his first shot on goal. It was his first shot attempt. Hits the back wall. Chambers was there. 45 seconds for the Friars. Taken to the net. Off the crossbar, Anderson. Looking for a huge goal to push the lead to 4. Stripes come together to talk before Joseph puts the ball back in play. Making sure the clock is in order. $1:38 left and 55 seconds to shoot for PC. Garcia almost airmails Lazaro. Anderson misses wide, and this time Holy Cross is there first. Finding a step ahead was Fallon. Ryan Botek hits a man towards the front of the net, but pass was too hot to handle. Looked like it was Tunney who couldn't get there. Actually, it was Bo Webster, 44 in white. Could not get a handle on it, and as a result, Providence can hold for the last shot of the 3rd quarter, a chance to go up by a game-high 4. Haven't been too many runs in this game until this 3rd quarter. Just 3 goals scored, all of them by Providence. Clock ticks down to 25 seconds. Friars trying to manage the clock well, maybe go for a double dip if they can get a quick one. But now just looking for one good look as Chambers has to go up top. 12 seconds to work with. To the right wing, a great stutter step, beautiful fake. Joseph, or that was Lazaro rather. Whether it's 6, whether it's 9, those two have been all over the score sheet. Give the hat trick to Matt Lazaro, his 5th point. Less than 3 quarters in. And that feels like a monumental goal for the Friars, who go up 12-8. Third different Friar with a hat trick. Lazaro joins Chambers and Wilkerson. Joseph not too far behind with a pair. 3 seconds to go. Providence trying one last chance from way outside. Long makes the save. That'll bring us to the end of what was a frustrating third quarter for Holy Cross. Couldn't get much going offensively, and the Friars put up a 4 spot. 15 minutes left. When we come back, do the Crusaders have a comeback in them? Stay tuned live on YouTube. It is the home opener for Holy Cross against the Friars. 12-8 Providence leads. Friars and Crusaders heading to the fourth quarter. Live from Worcester, Massachusetts. St. Ignatius Indoor Practice Facility. And you can see with all the numerical markers, yardage markers, of course, where the Crusaders football team practices. They're out of commission until late August, early September. Of course, practice and all that starts well before then, but nice of them to lend their facility here to the lacrosse team. Of course, mix some practices in here as well, but with all the snow we got, just was not feasible to play this game outdoors. And for those who are tuning in, appreciate having you. Of course, this game closed to the public, so you're catching the final 15 minutes live on YouTube. 4-goal lead for the Friars. They've gotten hat tricks from 3 different attackers: Chambers, Lazaro, and Wilkerson, all with 3. And, of course, the Big East preseason Offensive Player of the Year, Richie Joseph, he's got 2 goals. On the Holy Cross side of things, they've gotten a pair of goals from Will Messinio as well as John Luke Dooley. Every possession probably going to get a little bit longer in this fourth quarter for Providence, knowing they have this 4-goal advantage. Shot there, however, goes wide. Worth mentioning the play of Cam Sterrett, who stopped 10 shots. Maybe the difference so far. Did not allow a goal in the third quarter. Sophomore making a statement to begin his second year at the Division I level. Chambers missed just a bit outside on that shot. Providence with half a minute to shoot. Kennedy has it popped up. Ball ends up behind him on the ground. And J.R. Long picks it up. He, like Sterrett, has made 10 saves so far today. teams making personnel changes as the Crusaders get it across midfield. Messinio. Trying to get it to his right. Dooley. Jude Lynch with one goal, and he rings the iron. Long rebound comes all the way back for Providence to pick up, and now the Friars might have something going the other way. Lazaro opts to hold and find his talented attacker in Joseph. And now the Friars will just set it up offensively. They figured, unless we had complete numbers, why rush it? And this is why, because they can get set up so well, get the ball to Joseph, but Longmeadow, Mass native, a little bit too much air underneath that shot. Talked a little bit about that Lancers program. It has been pumping out Division I talent for many years, both on the boys and girls side, just outside of Springfield, Mass. Booming shot from Garcia is offline. And I should know that. I went to East Longmeadow High School, so I saw a lot of those talented Lancer players come through over the last decade plus. This long possession continues, and we're already down to 12 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Providence showing off their game management, understanding we don't have to rush. And they try to get a good look to Joseph. Shot clock freezes at 17, along with the game clock. There is no reset. So Friars got to go. Anderson stops, peels back, 5 seconds to shoot, drops it off. Jaskowitz. Shot misses wide. Good defensive stand for the Crusaders. But now the focus shifts to pushing the pace. Still down 4. Still looking for their first goal of the second half. Long directing traffic. It's a one-hopper down and corralled down in the corner. McDonald. Damian Raimondo finds Andrew Ottaminelli. Shot is blocked. Never got through, thanks to the defense of Owen Finetto. It's been rock solid back there for the Friars. Ground ball, pressure put on, but Botek in control. 25 seconds to shoot. Friars will take this. Plenty of time being burned while the Crusaders search for that 9th goal. Sam McDonald bluffs, finds it up top, and a clean save once again for Sterrett. It was a pretty good look from how far out it was, but Cam Sterrett with his 11th stop. Wouldn't this be something if he's able to keep Holy Cross off the scoreboard in the second half? Parker Kennedy. Back to Wilkerson, who's got 3 goals. Chris Madia. .30 seconds to shoot. Kennedy. Worked back to the front of the net by Wilkerson. Stopped from long. Neither team able to find the back of the net in the opening 5.5 minutes of this fourth quarter, but of course that benefits the visitors, and so will that turnover from Holy Cross. Now the Friars look to go. Richie Joseph flips it on back to Rhett Chambers. 3 goals and an assist, leading the way with 8 total shot attempts in a share for the lead with Jay Wilkerson. Those two have been firing at will all game long. And now getting it up top is Tyler Flynn getting some action. Halfway through the shot clock, and this will be the name of the game for the Friars. Up a quartet of goals. Flynn gives it away. Good pass to the middle, but Joseph airmailed the shot. The Crusaders get another stop. Bench continuing to pump energy and try and keep this group engaged offensively. But it has been a stalemate in the fourth quarter. Dooley. Messinio now. Messinio circles and finds Lynch. Everything staying on the perimeter, and that's by design from this PC defense. Lynch getting pushed off of that circle. Ground ball. That is an excellent defensive play. Spiked back into the turf, but what a possession defensively from Cam Mesh. Holy Cross, though, gets it back on their own half and tries to catch the Friars out of sorts a bit. It remains 12-8 with 7:10 remaining. Messinio. Again, stared down by Mesh, coming off that great defensive play before. This pass does find its way through, but shot from Tunney went straight into the ground and rolled to the end line. Back there to pick it up is Sterrett. Defensive masterclass from Providence in the second half. No, he was an offensive coordinator when he was at Maryland, just like his counterpart and Coach Reppert. But something to be said about the defense being played on the side of Bobby Benson, John Hopkins alum. Again, part of a national championship winning program. His final year with Maryland in 2022. Just very similar paths between these two coaches. Of course, Reppert won a natty as well with the Terrapins. And the scoreless drought in the fourth quarter comes to an end as the Friars pick up another. Wilkerson with his fourth. Have a season debut, Jay Wilkerson. The Baltimore native with his fourth goal. And he's already a third of the way to the total he had last year in one game. It is a career-high 4 goals. The most he had last season in a game was 2. So not only that, he got to his first hat trick of his college career. Now Providence picks up the pace, maybe knowing that they smell blood in the water. Already up 5 goals, but you can catch a tired defense napping, you might as well. Starting to approach the final score of last year, which was 15-8. Friars seeing if they can maybe get to that 15-goal mark this afternoon. Anderson misses wide. He's gotten some great looks all game long, but So far, Cooper Anderson has not been able to find the back of the net. A couple of those shots have been stopped by Long. Half a minute to shoot. 5 minutes to go in this season opener. Well, I might have spoke that one into existence. Anderson finally finds a way past Long for his first goal of the night. The lead is up to 6. What a run for Providence in this second half. And you have to wonder, if you go back to the end of the first half, Holy Cross had a chance to take a 9-8 lead going into the break, but Providence got a great defensive stop that included a save from Cam Starrett to keep things level into the break, and the Friars probably talked things over, said, all right, this wasn't our best defensive half, but we know we can do better, and boy, have they. Trying to continue to keep Holy Cross off the scoreboard for the final half hour of this one. Ramondo gets taken down. There'll be a flag against Providence, and Holy Cross will have their first man-up opportunity of the contest. With 4:22 remaining. Couldn't quite see who they got there. We get the official announcement. It is a push on Owen Finetto. He's had a great game back there. He's received 5 ground balls. Tied for the team lead with Lazaro up front, who again has a 5-point performance, as does Rhett Chambers, both with 3 goals and 2 assists. All right, Crusaders up a man. Trying to get back going in the right direction late in this one. Pushing was the call. Half a minute power play chance. Friars content with putting a wall up in front of their goalie. However, right before the penalty expires, the Crusaders find a crease in Aiden Cassidy with his first goal of the season. 3-point game for him, 14-9 with 3:52 to go, and the Crusaders are finally on the board in the second half. First career goal for Cassidy. It's been an impressive debut for the Maryland native. Getting ample run time up front. Coach Reppert had a lot of great things to say about this freshman group, and it's clear there'll be plenty of opportunities to carve out a role on this team. Talked about all the midfielders coming in, and you know, they returned a lot of goals when we talked about Messinio, Lynch, Ottamanelli, Dooley. But John Mitchell, an important piece of the puzzle, led the team in points last year. He graduates, had 23 points, including 14 goals. So this attack, still looking for a little extra juice, and you have to wonder if Cassidy is the answer to that equation. Holy Cross trying to go back-to-back and get it back within 4. 3.5 minutes to play. Ramondo, great spin move, decent shot, missed just outside the far post. Cassidy will put it back in play with 50 seconds to shoot. We talked about what's coming up next for Holy Cross, a trip to Long Island to take on Hofstra next week. For the Friars, they will head home for their home opener next week, and their opponent will have an even shorter trip than what Holy Cross would have if they had to go to Providence, as this possession continues for the Crusaders, but they'll get a chance to see the Bryant Bulldogs to open up their home schedule. Noontime start a week from today. And the following Saturday, Valentine's Day, a 2 p.m. matchup just north in Cambridge against Harvard and the Crimson. Tack on another save for Cam Starrett. Give him 13 now. And a quick rush. Providence adds another to get to 15. That was Ian Olenek who got down there. He had an assist earlier, and he finds himself at the front of the net. But Chambers will get the goal. Olenek with another setup. So a 4-goal performance for Chambers to go along with 2 assists. And a statement second half for Providence College. 2:24 to go. Some frustration on the Crusaders bench. Coach Reppert puzzled at the fact that possession was awarded to the Friars, and doesn't last for long as the Crusaders end up with it after the turnover. Providence with 49 total shots attempted, 27 of them on goal. That's really the big difference in this game. They have 18 more shot attempts than the Crusaders as the flag goes up. Multiple flags on the field. Holy Cross still with possession. Let's see if they can score before. Wrist shot goes off the bar again. Holy Cross has been unfortunate with a couple of those. The follow-up bid goes down, and finally we get a stoppage. But yeah, I think that's the 3rd time the Crusaders have hit iron. Minute and 24 seconds. And it'll be a man-up scenario. Now, we saw 2 flags. I don't know if it was the same call or not. Haven't seen the official statement in the scoring portal. But the Crusaders with possession. 1 for 1 so far, a man up. Special teams have been pretty solid for Holy Cross, as they did not concede a goal, a man up, the 2 chances that Providence got as we enter minute 60 of this Crusaders opener. Great pass to the middle. Lynch sets it up, and it's finished off by Cassidy. So a 4-point game in the college debut of Aiden Cassidy. Brings the score to 15-10. It was a 2-man advantage, by the way, for Providence, or against Providence, I should say. Owen Finetto got called for pushing, and then an offsides going against Colin Goals. So 50 seconds left. And after a long battle, Providence comes up with it. No incentive to shoot, up 5, but they keep running around and trying to score on this rush. Things getting chippy towards the end. That was a nice rush taken up by Olenek, who's got 2 assists. Nearly added a goal. Half a minute to go. Friars will improve to 1-0 to start the new year. And we'll head into their Battle of Rhode Island next week against Bryant on a high. One last chance for the Crusaders, one last save for Cam Starrett. Give him 15 stops to 10 goals allowed, and Providence can just run out the clock. 15-10 the final score. The Friars continue to have the Crusaders' number in this opening day matchup. Sterrett was terrific in net. 6-point performance for Rhett Chambers. A hat trick for Matt Lazaro. 4 goals for Jay Wilkerson. And even with the services of Richie Joseph, who had a pair of goals and now is within 8 of that 100-goal mark of his career, it was really a team effort offensively for the Friars, who put up 15 goals and improved to 1-0 on the season. Again, Holy Cross will head on the road for their next couple of matchups, with games on the horizon against Hofstra and Merrimack before they return home to take on Sacred Heart on February 14th. For our entire production crew here at the College of the Holy Cross, this is Colin Casey signing off. Once again, the final score, Providence 15, Holy Cross 10. It's been another edition of Division I College Lacrosse, live on YouTube. So long, everyone. We'll see you next time.